Tim, far from perfect today, but a lot to like. But what's the biggest reason Pittsburgh won this football game?
Well, I think the biggest reason is the Metcalf-Aaron Rodgers connection. Those guys hooked up and finally got a pass play to hit over 20 air yards, which we haven't seen in a month, over a month around here. So that was important, I think, to set the tone early that they could attack deep. That's the best yardage total we've seen since they were out in Ireland from DK Metcalf. I think it's the best overall performance we've seen from Aaron Rodgers in quite a bit. He was excellent when it came to moving around in the pocket, too. Ran for a touchdown on top of everything else. But those two guys hooking up and really being the combo that we thought we might see a lot of back in August, that's the biggest reason why they won today.
And good to see that in December. Meantime, the talk around the water cooler tomorrow will be especially that play at the end of the game. Isaiah Likely, the touchdown or non-touchdown, he makes the catch, gets 2 feet down, is ruled a touchdown on the field, and looks like the Ravens will take the late lead, but a replay official says he needed to get 3 feet down. I mean, explain this to us.
Well, this is basically the standing up version of the Jesse James play, isn't it? I mean, that's ostensibly what we're looking at here, and I don't like the rule. I guess by the very letter of the law of the rule, it was adjudicated correctly, I suppose. But to me, honestly, Andrew, the rule or the complaint that I think Baltimore has beyond that one, the one that would bother me even more if I'm a Ravens fan, is the play that involved Christian Kuntz, the long snapper.
Yes.
The fact that they said that that was rising to the level of putting the long snapper at risk, to me, was silly. And I thought they were really looking for something that wasn't there on that one. But however you want to slice it, that's what, 10 points minimum between those two penalties that cost the Ravens and were beneficial in favor of the Steelers. And then you also had the play on top of that where Rodgers caught his own pass and got his knee down. So, like, that's possession with your knee down like that much, as opposed to Likely getting 2 7/8 feet down. The NFL is going to have to find a different threshold, I think, to split the hairs, the difference between those two plays.
So sometimes you have to be lucky as well as good, and the Steelers were certainly that today. Okay, they won the game. They're in the driver's seat in the AFC North. What are your concerns now as we head into the final 4 weeks of the season?
Well, I've got concerns in a couple different places. I would say from today's game, the biggest issues that I took away from this were, again, really spotty play in the second half. Offensively, they were good in the third quarter. That was much better than what we saw against Buffalo. I thought that Buffalo third quarter was the worst quarter of football we've seen at Acrisure Stadium since that Browns wild card game where they gave up 28 points in the first to Cleveland. But defensively, they allowed 3 consecutive scores from the Ravens to open up the second half. And then in the fourth quarter, the Steelers went 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And stop me if you've heard me complain about this before, Andrew. 3 straight third down passes short of the sticks. 2 completed, 1 incomplete, but they didn't help their defense out at all on offense in the fourth quarter.
All right, some things to work on. Meantime, 4 games to go, beginning Monday night against Miami, a game you'll see right here on Channel 4, in fact. Are you confident, Tim, the Steelers will win the division, make the playoffs, and host that wild card game?
I think that they should, based on beating the Ravens once and the schedules that line up for the two teams. And also, hey, it didn't hurt that the Bengals took themselves out of it again after they'd sort of risen back into the ranks, or maybe better said, had the ranks fall back to them. But they blew that game against the Cincinnati Bengals today. So I think the Steelers should be able to control where they are in the driver's seat. But, hey, who's to say they can't turn around and lose the Ravens? Because so often these teams split against each other, and then it's just a matter of, did they win or lose the right games thereafter? And, that game up in Cleveland, it's always more tricky than we think it is. I think they've won once there in the last 7 years. So despite as bad as the Browns might be, keep that in mind.
But it sounds like Week 17, something will be on the line.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
All right, Tim, thanks for being with us. Of course, we'll catch up with you next Monday. The Steelers and the Dolphins right here on Channel 4. He's Tim Benz. I'm Andrew Stockey, and that's Pittsburgh's Action Sports.